When it comes to general knife care, I have kind of a basic 5-pillar system that I work with when it comes to taking care of your knives, so that either when they're fresh, brand new, and you just get them, or you get them back from a professional sharpener, the goal is to help take care of those knives and maintain them in between sharpenings, to just get them working and performing for you as optimally as possible. And the first key is just like working on a nice wooden cutting board like this. You know, working on glass or stone or ceramic, all of those are only gonna destroy your knife over time, especially along the cutting edge, just because those materials are so much harder than the material that is in your knife. They're harder than, you know, any steel, any cutting steels. And so you just wanna make sure you're working on a good cutting board like this. The second pillar is when you're done using your knife, you're getting ready to clean it up, do not put it in the dishwasher. A lot of people think it's about the heat and the moisture. That doesn't affect the steel, and that's not gonna affect the cutting edge. What's gonna affect the cutting edge is how all the different things that are in that dishwasher are bouncing around, clanging around. Again, glasses, other metal tools and utensils, you know, even just the wire racks that the knives are probably being rested on while they're bouncing around, jangling around in the dishwasher. So washing by hand is key to helping maintain and take care of your knife. Again, to get it performing and keep it performing optimally for as long as possible between sharpenings. The third step after that is storage. Where do you put the knife? Do you just throw it into a drawer with a bunch of other stuff? You don't. I mean, you might, but that might be your habit, but that's, again, the same issue as you have with the dishwasher. The knife has these micro serrations along the cutting edge, and anytime they come into contact with something else that's also hard, whether it's steel, glasses, ceramic, so on and so forth, those little micro serrations are starting to bend over and dull and flatten out. And when they start doing that, your knife is not gonna cut like it ought to. So make sure you're putting your knives on like a magnetic block on the wall, or even in a storage block that you can put in the drawer. There are storage blocks that fit inside of drawers, as well as on the countertop. Any of those are gonna be way better than just throwing the knife into the drawer. If you don't have those things, these knives fortunately come with sheaths that will help protect those cutting edges. So even if you do just have a drawer to store it in, they're gonna stay safe. The fourth pillar is just regular maintenance. This means using a honing rod or a stone to help keep the edge, those micro serrations I was talking about. Naturally, over time and use, they kind of bend over because they're coming in impact with the work surface, with some harder foods, whatnot. That's just part of it. And so a honing rod will help realign those teeth so that the knife continues to perform the way it ought to. A stone will also do the same thing. Something around maybe 1,000 grit, 1,200 grit is great. So after regular maintenance, you're keeping your knife tuned up. Every once in a while you hit it on the hone or on the stone. It eventually will get to a place where even after honing and hitting it on the stone, it's not doing its job. And that's the time when it's time to sharpen it. You can either do it sharpening yourself, or you can send it to a professional. Maybe you have a professional near you. What's really important is the professional sharpeners actually know what they're doing. There is a lot going on, metallurgically speaking, in any knife, in particular in these blades. And what's really important is that that while the sharpening is happening, especially if there's any machines involved, that the steel isn't overheated. And if somebody doesn't understand the metallurgical side of things, it is very easy to just burn up a blade. And they can sharpen it, it will get sharp, but the performance of that blade will drop precipitously, because even though it's sharp for maybe a few moments, it is not gonna hold that edge because it got burned up. It got too hot in the friction of sharpening and grinding and removing material. So it's very important that you are working with a professional who knows what they're doing. That's the 5 pillars of keeping your knife wicked ass sharp.
Oh, there you go.